Here we go again. Why is Mr. Mule getting money from unemployment agencies in Washington, Texas, and Maine? This doesn't make any sense. He's never lived anywhere but right here in Kentucky. They have the account number right. His name is spelled right. But this money can't be his. What do I do?
Ever experienced this situation? Or one similar where your gut is telling you that something is wrong? Let's look at what you're required to do in situations like these, looking at this solely from the receiving institution's perspective. According to Section 3.1.2 of the ACH rules, an RDFI may rely solely on the account number for posting transactions.
But what does that really mean?
Basically, as long as the incoming transaction contains a valid account number and automatically posts to that valid account number, you aren't liable to do anything else but let it post.
So, even though I think this credit from the unemployment agency in Washington doesn't belong to Mr. Mule, I can let it post?
According to the ACH rules, if that credit is coming into a valid account number and the credit automatically posts to the account, yes. Now, your institution may choose to investigate legally suspicious transactions as outlined in the rules in Section 1.2.1, Effects of Illegality. Under the effects of illegality, you can investigate the transaction, but it needs to be done promptly to meet your ACH rules and Regulation CC obligations to make funds available within a particular time frame. Keep in mind, you are not required to investigate your incoming ACH files to look for suspicious transactions under the ACH rules. However, your BSA or fraud departments may request it, so it's important to understand what your internal policies and procedures require.
Okay, so what if we want to investigate these weird credits? What does that look like?
Well, you could possibly return the transaction due to the name not matching the account number, if that is a frequent practice at your institution. You could contact the ODFI or originating company to see if that transaction is meant for your client. You could also contact your account holder directly to ask if they are receiving a credit for someone else. Then, out of your investigation, you could either leave the credit alone or return it back to the ODFI.
I've decided to return the credit. What return reason code do I use?
Depending on your situation, you could use RO3, name and account number don't match. RO6, ODFI requests return. R17, questionable transactions. R23, credit entry refused by receiver. Keep in mind, you can only use RO6 if the ODFI does in fact request the return. And you can only use R23 if your account holder asks you to return the credit.
Got it. Thanks for your help.
Dealing with suspicious transactions right now during the COVID-19 pandemic is taking its toll on operations staff across the country. It's good to note that while it's not an RDFI's responsibility to police every transaction they receive, the way these transactions are being handled varies. The most important thing to remember is if you find client or transaction behavior suspicious, you should strongly consider investigating the transaction, returning transactions as needed, and filing suspicious activity reports as needed. At the end of the day, financial institutions have reputations and account holders to protect. For more information about handling ACH transactions, don't hesitate to reach out to our member support team at 800-500-0100, memserve@epcor.org, or via chat on epcor.org. You may also be interested in our Payments University, now available virtually.